Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets. Powered by BetSperts, we are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. And Andy, I'm a little disappointed. I thought there was going to be some Masters today. I didn't think we could get it all in, but they figured it out, which I guess is
I don't
know.
Once I saw the tee times that they'd kind of projected for the actual round fours finishing up round threes on Sunday morning, I'm like, oh, it's not gonna even be close. Like the sun goes down at like 7:30 at night. Like we're gonna finish this with plenty of time. So yeah, I hate to say like, oh, I wish it would have rained more. I wish more trees would have fallen down. But overall, it was
part.
Yeah, it was. No idea how nobody was crushed. They said, and I read some quotes. I think somebody had found some and posted it. Somebody had said that the tree just fell really slowly, which is, I guess, how a tree falls when it falls like that, where it rips out the entire root system. So I guess people had a lot of time to move out of the way, but still, a tree was like 100 feet tall. It covers a lot of ground. It went right across where the gallery is sitting. So I guess #, blessed that nobody was crushed under a giant tree. Their lawyers
run sideways away from trees. Yeah. Sideways.
Oh, yeah. You'll see that on cartoons. Like they run, or you run away from the barn and then it falls on you, but you land right where the window was.
Don't do what cartoons do.
But yeah, kudos to the grounds crew for getting that cleaned up so quickly. And I think the funniest part of the tournament, and it was just destined to happen, was it's not like you couldn't watch golf. You could pull it up on the Masters app. You could screencast that to your TV. It was very easy to watch. But the actual good, like real CBS coverage starting at 3 Eastern was hilarious because you looked at the weather. It's like, are they going to start? Like, does the horn blow? And it was like 12, 15 minutes, something like that. And I mean, as soon as the broadcast was on, and anyone who was watching previously saw like, hey, there's standing water in spots already. It's just going to get worse. It's not letting up. So the horn blew like 10 minutes into coverage, which was pretty funny. So had the rest of, and again, the family gone. It was a nice day out, opened the windows, cooked for myself, and watched all of Beef on Amazon Prime on Netflix. Recommend. It's pretty good.
Yeah, beef and some beef.
Beef and some beef. Yes, I made some good wings too this weekend. But otherwise, it was fun. I didn't think Rahm had it in him. Obviously, he does. He has before. He's a previous major winner. Koepka, it was more Koepka giving it up. And yes, the horrible, you only played 54 hole jokes. Like, yeah, there was plenty of that. You weren't the first person to tweet that, guys. So it was kind of disappointing that it wasn't more of a battle down the last, the back nine. I wish it would have been within a stroke or two, or one of the other guys, Henley, Hovland, one of them would have gotten up there near Rahm's score to make it a little more dramatic. But good for him. That kind of solidifies anything. If he actually needed any solidifying, it does. But I did see an interesting tweet about the money, and of course, about the elevated events and the purses we have this year. Rahm's at $13 million for the year already. The money leader last year, I believe it was Scheffler, was only at 14 and change. Like the purses this year, if you're playing at a high level, you're getting rich. So congrats to everyone who got rich, including Phil. That was a huge paycheck for Phil, who normally doesn't get paid when he finishes golf tournaments. Although there's another good, if you want to make the live joke, the good live joke was Phil hadn't missed a cut all year. So why didn't we see this coming? I did enjoy that when I saw it. Otherwise, I don't know how much NBA / Masters you get in this weekend.
Watched all the Masters. Watched zero NBA. Not one single second of NBA basketball did I watch. Some highlights of what was going on the sidelines in Minnesota. Rudy Gobert continues to be a really popular player on his own team, and have you heard anything locally? I can't imagine they're going to let him play game one after punching Kyle Anderson. It wasn't a great punch, but it was.
No, he didn't connect that well. The worst part is McDaniels breaking his hand. Like it's a dumpster fire over here. Naz Reid is out for, honestly, if Naz Reid plays again this year, it's because the Wolves made the finals. So Naz Reid is out for the year. I'm not even sure they have the mojo for the play-in at this point. So I haven't heard anything on if Rudy's playing or not. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, kind of messy. Still won the game somehow, which was Ant didn't have the best shooting day, but he kind of put them on their back at late in the game. That was a really nice. I don't know. Did you watch the end of that game at all? There was a sequence where he had a really nice kind of last second block. And then down on the other end, he was the benefactor of, I don't remember who snagged. I think it was Conley snagged the ball. Nice little steal. It went right to Ant, and he was able to put it in and get fouled. So he's a gamer. He's a big game hunter. He gets it done when he needs to. If they win this play-in game, it'll be because of Ant, I suppose. But yeah, not excited about all the transgressions over the last 2 weeks for my Timberwolves. It's not looking like we're taking a chip this year.
They're not rolling in hot.
No. And I guess
favored to make the playoffs.
Congrats to the stupid fucking Quinnipiac Beavers or whatever. They beat my Gophers. It is Dan's team. Dan's fiance is a big fan.
There's a lot of cross sportsigenation on this show. It's wild.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was the two of the top teams in the country went at it, and honestly, I would have liked a little more overtime. I didn't watch. I forgot it was on. I was watching just more Netflix, honestly, at that point. But that was, 10 seconds into overtime. Didn't even give us much overtime. So congrats to QU. Congrats to the Gophers on a nice season, too. But, yeah, we're into NBA. I believe we will have Saturday is the start of actual series. Because it's playing on Tuesday and Thursday or Tuesday and Wednesday? I do not remember.
Just actually double checking that myself. We have games Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I believe they play again Friday to do the final play-in, and then this first round starts on Saturday.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did see Saturday because I was looking when the Celtics play. I'm like, oh yeah, they don't have an opponent yet. So, early thoughts on any of that once we have some lines, because if you're not the 1, 2, 7, or 8, you have a series together, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the series and some other things. I've got a future actually I like and a couple series bets I'll have for tomorrow. But as you take a look at the odds here for all 4 of the play-in games, the first one up here on Tuesday, the Atlanta Hawks play the Miami Heat. We've got Heat to miss the playoffs. Plus 700. They are minus 600 to make the playoffs. So we've got a little bit of equity somehow still after all this. We just need them to lose 2 in a row, but it's a weird game here. A number came up pretty close to where I had it. I had the Heat minus 4, so maybe a little value in the Hawks, and the total of 226.5 looks a little bit odd, maybe just a touch high, probably one of the higher Heat totals we've seen. So it really depends on who's going to control this basketball game, and it should be Miami. Better coach, better team overall. They're at home here. Again, their style usually tends to dominate here. And as you start to look at it a little bit, Atlanta's been much better. They've played some good basketball here. So if Atlanta can keep the pace high and really push the offense here, who knows? And the Heat have just been such an injury mess all season. But this one looked just about right to me. And the winner of this plays the Celtics, which you were asking about earlier, Andy. What did you think about that?
Yeah, no, I just it's funny. I have to help out the SEO director with schedules for basically like, hey, this is a state that has legalized gambling recently, so we're going to focus in on their teams. So I'm like, oh, the Celtics. I'm like, who do the Celtics play this week? And then I looked. I'm like, oh, they don't play till Saturday. And then it's like, oh, it's TBD. Oh yeah, we got to do the whole play-in thing yet. So basically, I was just trying to figure out what the game was. We'll figure it out later. But I will, of course, cheer for my Timberwolves. I'm not. Spoon already made the joke about the reffing for Lakers and what that. We'll see how that sort of stuff goes. Timberwolves have had legitimate gripes all season about reffing, so I'm kind of cheering for the reffing to be very Laker centric. Just so we have something to complain about on social media. That's always fun, though. So yeah, and as Patrick's pointed out too, the 6th man of the year odds kind of got a little wonky. I don't know what limits are on.
All the award markets get nuts. Very few books have them. Part of it is everyone's reacting to a FanDuel line, which is up live during play. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Like I think you were kind of about to say, the limits are pretty low there. So some stuff came out. A few people's votes came in on Brogdon. So Brogdon got bet. A few people's votes came in on SGA. So that one's still going to be pretty close. I think any SGA we have in our pocket's pretty good. But yeah, your Timberwolves, 7-point underdogs here, 229. I'm going to bet the Timberwolves at some point. I guess I'll wait and see if Gobert is going to play or not. I'm not sure that I particularly care. I'd rather him play. But if they've got at least one of Towns or Gobert and Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley, that might be enough here. I mean, Jaden McDaniels is an idiot. I don't know why you would just punch a freaking wall for any reason, let alone like when you have serious stuff to do with your hand over the next week. So we'll see if he's able to be back. But I think that the Timberwolves actually keep this game a lot closer than the 7, especially a beat up the Lakers are. So that one will be kind of fun. Bulls Raptors, the Raptors here -5, just about right. I mean, the Bulls as good as they've been. This is a particularly tough matchup, but the Bulls do a couple things that'll make this game tough for the Raptors. The Raptors are great at forcing turnovers. The Bulls do not turn the ball over very much, and the Raptors are great at offensive rebounding. Whereas the Bulls, even though they play some of these smaller lineups, are great cleaning the glass on defense. So I think what we're going to see here is a pretty ugly basketball game. This opened right around 216. Bet some under 214.5 myself this morning. I think anything 214 or higher looks good. I had this total at 210. Again, we're in the playoffs here. We're going to see the pace slow down. As I just mentioned, the Bulls kind of a nice profile matchup here for keeping the Raptors under control and vice versa. So like the under 214.5 there. And then the final game, the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm just going to keep betting them. We've got them plus 750, I think it was, something like that, to make the playoffs. That's around plus 600 now. And this number at 5, got some 5.5 yesterday. Had this closer to 3. So anything 4.5, 5 in that range. And honestly, maybe even a little bit better here. I think this Thunder team profiles as a really nice matchup against the Pelicans. Have a lot of perimeter defenders. A little concerned. Valanciunas is going to have a huge game here. So we'll probably look at some Valanciunas props maybe as a way to kind of middle things a bit. But outside of him really, having 40 points or something goofy like that, which I really can't see. This Thunder team should do really well. Plenty of guys to throw at Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. SGA, on the other hand, should be able to kind of get whatever he wants. So even though they're not in Oklahoma City here, I like the young Thunder plus 5, basically playing for fun at this point. They've already gotten a much better season than they thought they would. And the Pelicans trying to hold it together, answering Zion questions, a lot of little qualitative stuff. But again, my number was closer to 2.5, 3. So 4.5, 5, it all looks good. And then Bulls Raptors under 214.5, a couple play-in picks to get in now over the next couple days.
Question from Matt Lawrence. Snoops, I found a 15-1 on GSW last week. Did I make a good play or a great play?
Well, not to totally give away what we're going to talk about tomorrow, I'm wondering how Golden State's going to do in this first-round series. There's some very interesting stuff here. They have Andrew Wiggins back, and I've said it a couple times before. Historically, the Warriors win with defense. Everybody remembers Klay Thompson and Curry making all those threes, and that really is a lot of fun. But the teams that were championship teams were historically great defenses, and they're not even close to this. So unless Wiggins coming back is going to unlock something here, again, Gary Payton Jr. is getting healthy. Wiggins might be in good shape here, and they might be able to turn themselves into a solid defensive team. But the Sacramento Kings are not the team you want to be trying to figure this out against. They have been the best offense pretty much all season once Boston's shooting numbers came back down to earth here. And they're going to come out. They're going to run up and down the floor. They're going to do their thing. So I think Golden State's really going to get handed to them here in the first, maybe second game as they try to adjust. So no, I don't like that bet. I don't think that you made a good or a great play. I think that you might actually get a better number after they lose game 1.
Yeah, that's the fun part about futures, is just kind of working your way through a series and adding some positions. That's my favorite part about the NBA playoffs. It's not like NBA playoffs. Like, I view a series.
Everything.
I view a series as like a football game. Like a 7-game series for NBA is like a football game. When you're betting positions, it's almost like you're live betting, except you have infinite more time. infinite. But I did not put the emphasis.
The world's longest halftime.
Yeah, it is like the world's. I love getting in on futures where it's like when there is any sort of overreaction to losing a game on the road that you weren't, like you were 2-point dogs on the road and you lost this. Why did your odds move this much? It's always fun to get on that. So I'll be starting my portfolio here very soon. Basically, I have one bet. It is the 76ers to defeat the Denver Nuggets in the finals, 175-1. That's I think that's my only bet. So I need those two teams to at least get there. I won't hedge. And if we get that exact
hopefully
finals,
you have some Bucks futures in there at some point.
I don't think I have much. I have to go look if I have anything. But if we do get that exact finals matchup, I am team never hedge, but it's such a dumb bet and it's almost 200-1. Like I'll probably put $1,000 on the Nuggets just to get something out of it. Who would be favored in that? Like just straight up Nuggets, Sixers in the finals. Is it pretty close?
Nuggets will have home court, so you'll probably have the Nuggets favored, maybe in like the minus 150, 160 range, something like that.
Okay. We would
have an adjustment because the Sixers would have then just beat the Celtics and the Bucks, two of the bigger teams. So maybe it's a little bit closer than that, but the Nuggets would have had to beat Phoenix. So yeah, maybe a little bit closer than that, but Nuggets shortish to medium favorites.
Okay. 1,250 to win 1,000 on the Nuggets. That's the bet. I'm predicting the price minus 125 for the series starting it out on the opener. We need to take something. If we get it that far, we need to take something home. I'm going to be pissed if the Nuggets take down your Sixers. And at that point too, I'd win more on the Sixers. So I'd still cheer with you. All right, we got a prop market.
It's a little bit of fun here. This is something again. Sorry, folks.
Something.
No tennis this week, really. The Billie Jean King Cup is happening. It's in Turkey, so all the matches are basically happening while you're waking up, and we're on the show right now. And they don't really do a good job of telling you who's playing. So might not be any tennis this week. We'll see. Maybe one of the ITFs will perk up later on. But one of our favorite offshores, we talk about them all the time. Has a market for Mike Breen and whether or not he will say bang after a three-pointer, if you will. And if you don't know, pull up. There is just an endless amount of videos of him saying bang. You saw the meme from the BetSperts account. At some point, he will bang, and he will bang hard. Mike Breen loves it. So they went through here. They hung odds that we'll get a bang on any of these teams during the playoffs. And as you can see, they sort of correlate to the favorites here. Obviously, the more games you win, the more chances Mike Breen will have to announce your game and therefore bang you. It's just really fun. I don't really know how to start with this. I was talking to Dan. It's hard to figure out what games he's going to be calling. He's going to be doing, I think, the ESPN games. He might get some of the ABC games. So it's hard to figure out where he's going to do. But, man, Celtics almost seems too easy. I guess the other thing you need is you need a comeback element, right? Mike Breen he's not just out there firing it at all times, but there's got to be at some point a little bit of a comeback here. So who's kind of exciting? I think the Grizzlies at plus 150 have some value. The Grizzlies have a great chance to play 2 series. That's a lot of games for Mike Breen to call, and that team is a mess. And I could see John Morant setting up a Desmond Bane bang. I don't know if we didn't get Desmond Bane here in the odds, but what do you think of this market, Andy? How should we start to handicap it?
Yeah, I need to search those stupid articles like who's announcing what. Like I guess some guesswork, but obviously a lot more equity to the teams that are favored to win their conferences because they're just gonna have more chances to get Breened. So I would probably
goodbye Dan there. Western Conference Finals on ESPN. So we're looking for like Western Conference Finals. I think Grizzlies plus 150.
Yeah, something like that. Give me the Suns too.
Kings
even at even money, like a team like that's probably going to get three series at least. So if these are full,
problem is the Suns don't shoot a lot of threes. You might get a 2-point
maybe that's maybe what makes it more exciting when they make one. Like you
might get a 2-point bang, but maybe not a 3. So
they're four
I
for 9.
I think I'm going Kings. Give me Kings and Grizz.
Okay, I'll take Suns and Kings. How am I going to track this? I'm not watching all the games.
I have no idea. I'm sure that social media will let us know, and with their big 3-pointers, there'll be enough people in the chat. And it's all very small limits, so you just got to trust Bovada does the right thing. They usually do, actually.
It's just like the Super Bowl. Like they'll usually be a little slow on these when it's the Super Bowl props where you're betting, like will Mark Wahlberg being shown on TV. That shit's not graded the night of. Like you're usually waiting till the afternoon, the next day. Stuff like that is always a little slow in the uptake. So, all right, Masters is done, but still golf persists. It does persist, and we head to beautiful Harbor Town, the RBC Heritage, as it's pronounced, and it is another elevated event where all the best in the world will be playing. Obviously, Will Zalatoris is not going to be playing for a long time. He's having back surgery, be out for all of 23, which sucks. But still, a lot of good golfers here. A lot of guys who've had, success on tour. Not so much success here because this traditionally hasn't been a great field. It wasn't, it wasn't an elevated event. It wasn't. It was, the week after the Masters. A lot of guys just take it off. So I mean, there's been some odd, like CT Pond has won this event. He's not going to win this year, guys. I should say that just in case he does. That's fun when I'm super wrong, but it's a much better field this year. So it's harder to handicap, but there's some decent looks in a few guys. I think a lot of people I saw tipping Lowry already. He's like 40-1. He's looked a lot better now that he's kind of gotten things sorted out with the new caddy. I've seen some. I don't hate Sahith Theegala, played really well last week of the Masters. He's about 80-1. That's maybe a really nice top 20 look as well. Ooh. So I have a couple of things percolating. Matchups did okay. The only matchup I lost was betting against Phil Mickelson. I mean, it was either
just doing okay till Sunday.
Yeah, it was either Skeletor isn't going to play well because he's dying, or he's really thin and in shape, and turned out to be the latter. Christ, he looked like I bet Charles Schwartzel against him. Wasn't even close. And he beat him by like 10 strokes at least. I did bet another live golfer to win, though, or to win this matchup. I had Reed over Adam Scott. That one was nice to see Patty Reed come back to form. So nothing on the front page for me right here, but I'll have some looks here tomorrow when I get with Noonan.
I could dig it. Yeah, Rory crossed off there, so
yeah.
Yeah, Theegala, doesn't he profile to a certain kind of course, basically? Because 80 is a big number.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it just comes down to the fact that there's all the top golfers in the world are here, essentially, besides Rory. And there's one other guy Aaron Wise is obviously off. He's taking some time off of golf at this point. So there's a couple of top guys missing, but I mean, he's just going to be listed that price as long as, we have a full field event. It is an invite, so it's not a full field. This is around 130 golfers, but still full field with all the top golfers. A guy like that's still going to be listed pretty low. So yeah, check your prices on him. I'm more than likely going to be betting him some way. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, tennis. I looked at Monte Carlo, but a lot of that was going on while we're playing. Obviously, the Sarasota Challenger has near and dear to my heart. With the, if you just haven't, go Google Sarasota Challenger Francis TFO. Like that's a pretty fun video too. If you already have YouTube open because you were watching Mike Breen bang videos.
Make sure the volume's not too loud if you're at work.
Yeah, that one's not as safe for work.
It's right in your range. That is very MSFW, mostly.
Yeah, mostly safe for work, but that one is pretty funny as well. So, all right, well, I'm gonna call it. We'll catch you tomorrow. Do some more NBA stuff. Heavy NBA week. Obviously, the playoffs are starting. I'm gonna dunk it.